What's up, guys? Cobra Kai here. We got Cobra Kai Season 2, Episode 2, Back in Black. So, this episode starts off with Johnny, with people working on the charger that Johnny got from Daniel back in episode 8, and yeah, episode 8, and they turn it into the Cobra Kai charger. Because the Cobra Kai car. So, yeah. And, yeah. So while that's happening, Daniel and Robbie and Sam are starting their first day of Miyagi-Do training. And Miyagi-Do training. And they're doing it. And Daniel tries to get him to practice some moves. Yeah. Practice some moves. So yeah, but he can't train them because Amanda's like, hey, you gotta come over to Louis Auto because there's some, and he's like, hey, you need to sell 10 cars to get a quota. So yeah, they end up doing that. They end up selling 10 cars to people. Yeah. So yeah, and then while at Cobra Kai, well, Cobra Kai, well, Cobra Kai, they're just talking, and then when look who comes to Cobra Kai, but Kreese. I'm not gonna say John Kreese. I'm just gonna say Kreese. And yeah, and Johnny's like, is this supposed to come out tomorrow? I said tomorrow, but he's like today, tomorrow, whatever. And yeah. And he's like, this is John Kreese. This is gonna be. And he's like, Diaz warm up. And he's like front, back, and then hand that. And then Johnny's like, what's going on? And he's like, Sensei, we're just goofing around. He's like, is that what you guys think? You guys think that just because you win the All Valley tournament, now you guys can goof off? And they're like, yeah. He's like, no. You guys still gotta do what you gotta do. You guys can't goof off. And he's like, what's so funny? And he's like, what does a snake? He's like, hey, Sensei, what does a snake do? He's like, what does a snake do? He's like, guys, come on. This is not Jokey Kai. This is Cobra Kai. Actually, this is not a Cobra joke. It's Cobra Kai. So get back in the game. He didn't actually say that, but kind of felt. So yeah, and then so yeah, the way to get them to like get back into is he's like, hey Sensei, is that you really want us to get into that oil? You want to get into that cement truck because like cement. You think just because you won the All Valley tournament means you can goof off? He's like, yeah, but no. If just like cement, if it hardens, it hardened. And if you don't take class seriously, you will harden just like cement, guys. Actually, he doesn't say that, but he's like, before him, he's like Sensei, do you really like just going there because of the fumes? And he's like, and then Chris is like, quiet. I taught this man. And he's like, and then Hawk's like, you were our sensei's sensei? He's like, yeah. So you're gonna listen to everything this guy's gonna say, and you guys gonna do what this guy's gonna say. What this guy's gonna tell you to do. So yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I can't believe you guys won the All Valley tournament. And why did you win the All Valley tournament? Because of Johnny Lawrence. So and then while that's happening, Daniel goes back to Sam and Robbie. Yeah, and Robbie's mom also comes back in the picture, but then she's like, "Hey, I gotta go back to Cabo, so I'm gonna leave you again." So yeah, Robbie's mom, unlike Robbie's dad, Robbie's mom cares for him, but she's too busy being a party girl and partying to worry about her own son's well-being. So yeah. So yeah, and Johnny and Robbie, the lights go off at his place, so he kind of is mad. So damn, like before Mr. Miyagi died, he 5 years before Mr. Miyagi died, he built this like round circle to balance his bonsai trees. But now you guys are going to master your dance move too on this thing. So yeah, and yeah, they do it, and while they're doing that, the guys are on the cement and they're doing it and they're working together and they both accomplish their goals and they're like, yeah, you guys both did a good job. So yeah, and also not after that, Miguel, he goes to Johnny's house and he's like Robbie Keene, and he discovers that Robbie Keene is his son. So yeah. So yeah, and then at Cobra Kai, he's like, Robbie Keene, I found out why Sensei didn't want to attack Robbie Keene. And he's like, why? Because he's his son. So yeah, and then we see Sam, and she's like, Dad, do you know anything about Robbie's living situation? So he's like, hey, you can. He goes to Robbie's apartment. He's like, hey, you can come sleep. You can come stay with us. But yeah, so he's like, how are we gonna let? We have to ask his parents. And man's like, we can let him stay here, but we gotta ask his parents. But his mom keeps not answering. So why don't we ask his father? So yeah. Chris and John are like at this convenience store. They're walking out. As Daniel shows up, he's like, oh, Chris. No, Johnny, you're hanging out with Chris again? And it's like, Daniel, it's none of your business who I hang out with or not. He's like, it's like, we're back together again. All three of us. All three of us. Except for a missing person. R.I.P. Mr. Miyagi. He's like, hey, Chris, how's your hand from being how's your hand from Mr. Miyagi beating your hand to a glass window from Karate Part 2. And he doesn't say anything, he just looks at his hand, and he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I came to ask you a question, but it looks like I got my answers. Okay. You guys are in for a rude awakening. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. Okay, so Back in Black is a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I kind of don't like Johnny in this episode because one, he was trying to prove to the students that Cobra Kai, they don't joke around. Like, you win one tournament just because you win an All Valley tournament doesn't mean you joke around. And Chris defended Johnny, and yeah. So yeah, I think Kreese has I know in this season Kreese has an end game, but yeah.